Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Money Mondays on this July 22nd. My name is Belinda Ray. I am the Director of Strategic Partnerships here at Greater Portland Council of Governments, here with my colleague,
Paul Johnson, the Economic Development Director here at GPCOG.
And we are here today to help connect our members and community partners to funding opportunities and regional resources. Money Mondays every week at 9 a.m., the best 15 minutes of your week, less than 15 minutes a lot of the time. And if you have questions as we go through, please type them into the Q&A. We will send the video and the slides to anyone who is registered or attending today when we are done. With that, I think we're ready to go. I will get this up here. And Paul, send it to you.
Great. Thanks, Belinda. If you are joining us for the first time, typically I lead off Money Mondays with more of a private sector business opportunity, and Belinda always is the main event with a grant opportunity, typically for nonprofits or municipalities. So with that, I would like to do today just a quick 3-minute introduction to Maine Technology Institute, and otherwise known as MTI. So if you hear the initials MTI, most people are referring to the Maine Technology Institute. The reason why I wanted to quickly give an introduction is you may or may not know GPCOG has really since COVID administered several grant opportunities for private businesses. Excuse me. So a typical question that we get is, hey, is there any grant money left out there? And really with GPCOG, we're hit or miss. It's whether we have a contract with the state to help them out, but we don't have standing grant opportunities. MTI is an example that usually they'll have some sort of pot of money that is accessible to business owners. So with that, what is MTI? MTI was founded in 1999 by the state legislator, excuse me, which, by the way, a lot of nonprofits are. And they offer grants, loans, and equity investments for essentially any Maine business that fits their I think it's 7 or 8 defined industries. And right now they actually do have equity investments available. Belinda, you can go to the next slide, I think. They have equity investment available on a one-to-one basis. So if you're a private company and you're looking for some little extra money, they'll match what you can bring to the table. They'll match it one-to-one. But they actually also have some domestic trade funds that are not the domestic trade grants, but it is the same pot of money. So they actually do have some grant money currently available. It's a little bit different than what GPCOG has done in the past. It's specifically for a list of contractors that are pre-approved by the state, and it's a ton of contractors. So it could be for marketing, it could be for sales, it could be for management, it could be for all sorts of things. If you agree to use one of those approved contractors, there's grant money available right now for your business, where you can say, hey, I'd really love to do X, Y, and Z, but I need a little bit of help. The MTI actually has a current grant program that could help you. And that's separate and independent of the equity investments they do. They are Maine Technology Institute, so they do have a list of sectors which are right here in the bold list. So not everybody is an appropriate fit for MTI, but if you look at those sectors and you know somebody in your town or you yourself, or if you're an economic development director watching this and you've been having conversations with businesses in your area, just keep an eye out for these industries and realize MTI is a resource. And the only thing I'll plug is information technology, anything web-based, anything technology-based. Information technology can be a pretty broad topic. So although some of those are narrow, realize there's some room for flexibility there. And then lastly, there's a live link. So if we email you the slide deck, you can click right on there and it'll at least get you, that's not the main page for MTI. It digs a little bit deeper into the actual funding. So with that, Belinda, I will pass it off to you.
Great. Thank you, Paul. And today I want to talk about the Safe Streets and Roads for All grant. That's familiar to many of you, I think, but it is a grant that has a pot of funding this year with applications due at the end of August, but it will also have funding in 2025 and in 2026. So it bears hearing about now and later. It is a grant program from the U.S. Department of Transportation that has an aim to improve road safety. They are specifically interested in eliminating all traffic fatalities and serious injuries from our roadways. And each year, there are two pots of money. There's a pot of money for planning and demonstration grants, which has a slightly, well, a largely easier application. And then there are implementation grants, longer application. I'm going to focus on planning and demonstration. And part of the reason is within our region, we do not have, it's wonderful, we do not have the high rates of fatalities and serious injuries that are getting these implementation grants right now. And that's wonderful, but it does mean that it's a lot of work to quite possibly not get the money. There are areas of Maine where the fatalities are high enough, but it's not our region. So planning and demonstration grants, who's eligible? The usual suspects, and you can have any combination of these, multiple municipalities together, municipalities and counties, municipalities and states, anything, all eligible. You know what? I'm sorry, states, I don't think state DOTs are not eligible for this. So you would need to partner with Maine Dot for this. That's an error. States are not actually eligible, which is why municipalities are getting this money. So it's a really good one for municipalities. What will it fund? For this, you can develop or complete an action plan. And an action plan is where you look at your whole community or your whole region and you contemplate where are deaths and serious injuries happening, what can we do to lessen them, decrease them, get to zero, and you create this whole action plan. It's a very specific process. There are 10 or 12 very specific things you need to do to have an action plan that qualifies. Once you have an action plan, you can apply to conduct supplemental safety planning or carry out demonstration projects. Supplemental planning is things like sub-plans for your action plan. So you might have an action plan that covers your region, and then you want to delve deeper into a specific area, get more information and more of a plan around speed management or intelligent transportation systems or ADA accessibility. You might also do road safety audits to further inform the things that you need to do. And you might do follow-up stakeholder engagement or collaboration. Demonstration activities, this is, I think, the fun stuff. This is where you put those projects out and you pilot them to see, would this work here? What's it look like? You put out a temporary project that doesn't have to be super temporary. It could be up for a couple of years. You could do feasibility studies. You can do pilots of behavioral activities. So if you've got a safety campaign to try to change behavior on a roadway, or you want to pilot some new safety technologies, these things, along with your raised crosswalks and your pedestrian bump outs and your bike lanes, all of these things are demonstration activities. Road diets, all of these things. So we have had 2 successful applications to this. In 2022, we applied in the action plan category. We applied jointly with our sister organization in Southern Maine and got money for both of us to create action plans for our respective regions. And this was for the PACTS region of GPCOG, which is 18 communities really in the urbanized area, it's called. In 2023, we got another grant for planning and demonstration projects. And that one was pretty big. That one is just GPCOG. It's the whole area. And that is to do these supplemental planning and demonstration projects. Now, the 2022, we actually finished that plan for the PACTS region using PACTS money, and then we're able to use the money remaining to work on a plan for the remaining 12 GPCOG towns. So that's in process right now. So the good news around that is that our entire region either already has or is in the process of getting an action plan. This is the Vision Zero website where you can find out all about the work that we've already done on action planning, both the one we're calling the urban and suburban communities, and then the island and rural communities is in place, in progress right now. So you can read all about that and see the action plan that we developed. And because we developed that action plan and are in the process of doing one for the remaining GPCOG communities, that important note up at the top, all GPCOG communities are eligible to apply for planning and demonstration plans without creating their own action plan, because they are all covered under the umbrella action plans that we have created. So individual communities do not have to go through that action planning process. They could instead go through some sub-planning and do some demo projects and really begin to put things in place to see if we can reduce and eliminate fatalities and serious injuries. So funding for these projects, and again, I'm just looking at the planning and demonstration. Implementation has much higher thresholds here, but the one that you have a really good shot at getting is the planning and demonstration. Minimum amount, 100,000, max 10 million. And I wrote here, demonstration projects don't have to be all that temporary. We have gotten the word, because we're doing a bunch, that they're not going to come out and check and make sure they're removed. So really, it's what your community wants. Do you have a project you want to put in and pilot for a couple of years? It does not have to be a few months. So there's a lot of flexibility there. Cost share is an 80-20 match. You have to come up with 20% of the project total. That can be in kind. Priority, as you would guess, is for projects that increase safety and help eliminate fatalities and serious injuries. They don't want to build or expand roads, build new roads. This is really to look at what you've got and figure out how you might need to change it. They also have a focus on low cost, high impact strategies. And a lot of times there are things you can do to put a road on a road diet that are not incredibly expensive. Always priority with grants to equity and community engagement and aligning with US DOT projects. On a scale of 1 to 10, this one's a 5. The application is very short. You have a few things you're going to have to gather in terms of data and make a map and put those things together. But there's an online application portal. It'll walk you through step by step everything that you have to turn in. You attach it all right there and then submit. And the narrative for this has a maximum of 2 pages. Also, as I said, we have had a successful application here, and so we can certainly share information with you as you're putting yours together. The deadline for this year is August 29th. There will be future rounds in 2025 and 2026. So if this seems like something you might want to do in your community and you're not ready right now, I would say start thinking, what are these projects? What is it that you want to do? What do you need? Do you need to hire some staff to be able to do it? Start figuring that all out. Get some partners on board and be ready when it comes out next year. If you have something ready to go this year, there's enough time. This is not a really hard application. It can be challenging on the other end, so you want to make sure you have capacity to manage it should you get the money. But really, this is very doable by August 29th. This is where you would find out more if you are in fact interested. We've got a website, some webinars, and our website, the Vision Zero Greater Portland, so you can see our plans. And that's what I have for you today. Paul and our emails are right there. If you are interested in finding out more, there's a link for the Money Mondays webpage where the videos are posted, links to the videos. And that is that.
And as promised, 15 minutes or less.
Absolutely. Have a great week, everyone. We will see you next Monday. Bye.